Hello and welcome to the next video about economics versus the environment. Today we have finished now with the economic side of the debate. We are moving on to looking at some of the areas of conflict. And the first one we're going to look at is water. So what is the problem with water? Alongside a shortage of energy, there is likely to be a shortage of fresh water. If all the world used Western-style toilets with a tank of water attached to flush them, there would not be enough water in the world to make them all work. As climate change brings more water to some areas and less to others, water is likely to become a conflict area. As dams and irrigation schemes are built, the amount of water for the places downstream is reduced. The Mekong River in Southeast Asia, for example, starts in the Himalayas and runs through Bhutan, Myanmar, Laos, and Vietnam. If a dam is built in Bhutan and the other countries get less water, there will be some very unhappy people. So here we have a video about the situation in Ethiopia, where they're building a dam and it's having an impact on Sudan and Egypt.
A source of life and conflict. Ethiopia, Egypt and Sudan, Africa's biggest hydroelectric dam on the Blue Nile.
So the video highlights some main issues there could be about any water situation. The River Nile is almost Europe's only source of water. The great civilization of the pharaohs and the pyramids was made possible by the water from the Nile. If it stops, they're in big trouble. Filling the new dam is critical. Once it's full, the problems are much smaller. Once the lake behind the dam has formed, the water going into the lake from upstream and the water going out downstream should be approximately equal. If that isn't true, the level of the water in the lake will go up or down. Once the lake is full, it's almost back to normal. If there's a lot of rain one year, Egypt will get more, and if there's less, it will get less, the way it's always been. In September 2023, filling the dam was complete. Most of the Egyptians' fears about the process have not happened. The Ethiopians have been very considerate, taking 4 years to fill the dam and allowing a lot of water to flow on down to Egypt. Sudan is in between. It will use some of the electricity from the dam, so it will benefit with new factories too. But it is also completely dependent on the Nile River for its water, for its agriculture. So alternatively, think about a very wet season. What if Ethiopia lets it all through and there are huge floods in Egypt? Now it's full. The remaining issues are about things like, what if there's a very dry rainy season? the lake level will go down, and the amount of water for Egypt will do the same. Clearly, the Egyptians won't be happy, but that's the way it's always been if there's not much rain in the rainy season. Now think about the next year. Let's say there's a normal amount of rain. The lake level is low because of the problems last year. Ethiopia might want to get it back up to its normal level. To do that, they keep extra water, and that means less for Egypt. So now Egypt has 2 low water years in a row. So things to think about. Who does the water belong to? Is it where it falls? If not, why not? Following that idea, Ethiopia can do what it wants legally. If it can't get the water it absolutely needs, it's quite likely that Egypt would send their army to invade Ethiopia. Why wouldn't you? The survival of your people and your way of life are at risk. Do you think that defining an owner of the water is a helpful move? Or is it just one more thing to argue about? In practice, all 3 countries have to agree, and who, if anyone, owns it doesn't change that. And this is the end, my friend. See you next time.